Hello everyone and every pony. This is Goggle wearing Freak here to give you another awesome fanfiction reading. It is chapter 2 of the Legion of Gloom. I have enough time to read this and the microphone seems to work without any stupid fuzzing, so I'm going to use the microphone from now on. So glad I have this. Anyway, I'm hyped up on sugar from eating frosting. Don't ask, I had enough money to buy frosting. So, here we go. Legion of Gloom, Chapter 2. All the really bad stuff happens. Sweet Apple Acres was in the full swing of summer. The trees were lush, and each was dotted with shiny red apples ripe for picking. Applejack was trotting along the trees, pulling a cart loaded with baskets full of apples. Having just finished her day's worth of apple bucking, she was now heading back to the barn to store the apples until they were ready to be sold. Oh, I want some apples right now. I'm getting hungry. It had been a perfectly normal day for Applejack, but that was about to change. A low rumbling noise caught the orange pony's attention. Hang on. It seemed to be coming from a clearing in the orchard nearby. Applejack unhitched herself from the cart and trotted slowly towards the clearing, trying to identify the source of the sound. She couldn't see anything, and what's more, she couldn't figure out where the noise was coming from. It was almost something she could feel rather than hear, like it was coming from underneath her hooves. Oh dear. Suddenly, with a thunderous boom that shook Applejack off balance, the ground in front of her split open, sending up an enormous cloud of dirt and rock. The diamond dogs emerged out of the fresh hole in the ground, poking their heads into the air. "Are you sure this is the right place?" one of them asked. "I don't know. There's too many roots down here." "You!" Sorry if my southern accent isn't that good. "You!" Applejack cried, shocked at the sight before her. "It's the pony!" the third diamond dog said, pointing at Applejack. "Get her!" But in their haste to capture Applejack, the three wound up tripping over each other as they scrambled out of the hole. This gave Applejack enough time to dash back to the cart and retrieve a length of rope. Y'all fellers choose the wrong pony to mess with," Applejack announced, fashioning the rope into a lasso. She twirled it over her head for a moment before flinging it at the diamond dogs, aiming for the head of the biggest one. But the lasso began to glow and froze in midair before it got anywhere near the diamond dogs. Before Applejack could comprehend what was going on, the lasso snapped back like a rubber band and wrapped itself around Applejack's hooves, leaving her lying hog-tied on the ground. "What the hey?" "What the hey?" Applejack shrieked. "Quiet, foolish peasant!" Trixie trotted up to Applejack, shoving an apple into the earth pony's mouth to complete the hog-tie look. "As to be expected, you are no match for the great and powerful Trixie!" Applejack began making sputtering noises through the apple when she recognized her capture. You can eat the apple and just say, "It's you, Trixie!" instead of letting the apple be in your mouth. I mean, come on. That's just me, anyway. We have successfully captured our quarry. I think it's word quarry. Okay, it's quarry. "Our quarry," Trixie announced. Quickly, beasts, bring her into the tunnel." The Diamond Dogs grabbed Applejack and scurried back into the hole, dragging the Earth Pony with them. Trixie followed them back underground. Let's see about anyone else. Let's see. 1 down, 5 to go. At the Carousel Boutique, it had been a quiet day for Rarity. There hadn't been any customers, and she was currently occupying herself by working on some new designs in the back room. At the moment, she was running some fabric through her sewing machine when she heard the doorbell over the shop. When she heard the doorbell over the shop door ring. Rarity trotted into the front room of her shop to greet her customer. "Welcome to the Carousel Boutique. I am Rarity." She stopped and gasped when she caught sight of Trixie. "You!" Hang on. Oh, I didn't mean Trixie. Oh, her visitor. I'm sorry, I'm so used to Trixie. "You!" "Yes, it is I! Photo finish!" Photo finish said, posing dramatically at the announcement of her name. "And I'm here to see you, Rarity!" "Me?" Rarity squeaked, the word getting stuck in her throat on the way up. Yes, I realized I made a terrible mistake. Your fashion designs and grace and beyond compare. I must capture your magics." Oh my! Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. "Oh my!" Rarity cried. "Are you saying?" "Yes! I'm going to make you shine all across Equestria." Oh, wait. I'm going to make you... Okay. "Yes! I'm going to make you shine across Equestria." Photo finish declared, waving a hoof in the air over her head. Kind of like how I did. "I'm watching too much LP. MOP. Rarity squealed and started jumping up and down excitedly, unable to contain herself with the announcement of the news. "I merely need you to step outside for me, Verity." Okay, not exactly. You know what I mean. "Rarity," Photo finish said, gesturing at the front door. "Of course!" Rarity cried, regaining her composure. "Anything for you, Photo finish." Photo finish held the door open. Come on. Photo finish held the door open for Rarity, offering her to go first. If Rarity hadn't been nearly bursting at the seams with the knowledge that she was about to become one of Equestria's most famous fashion models, she would have thought this gesture of kindness was very strange coming from Photo finish. Well, yeah, I guess, but it was too late. A yellow claw shot out of the air and gasped. Oh wait, and grasped. Hang on. A yellow claw shot out of the air and grasped Rarity around the neck, pinning her to the ground. Rarity tried to scream, but another claw had placed itself over the unicorn's muzzle. "Listen, pony." Okay. "Listen, pony," Gilda said threateningly. "One stand out of you, and your history. Got it?" "We have succeeded!" Photo finish declared, speaking over Rarity's whimpers. Frankly, I don't see why I couldn't have just gone in and grabbed her myself," Gilda huffed. Too uncouth! Photo finish said sharply. "Now, Figo!" Gilda took to the air, clutching Rarity with her claws. Photo finish ran along the road, following the griffin. And I wonder who else is going to be captured. Pinkie Pie. This should be interesting. Pinkie Pie was cheerfully hopping around her room on the second floor of Sugar Cube Corner. It had been a really super day and... Hang on. It had really been a super happy, fantastic, ponyriffic day in Ponyville. And it... and all it was missing was a party! Now Pinkie Pie... Now Pinkie just had to figure out what to throw for a party. Got any... I gotta think about pony voice. Got any ideas, Gummy? Pinkie asked, referring to her pet alligator. Gummy Gummy stared back blankly. I think I have an idea for a party, a low voice said slowly. Yes, let us see. It says it on here. Let us celebrate the return of your real friends, Pinkie. A various French... Damn it! I don't know how to do a French voice. Yes, let us celebrate... Screw it! A various French voice... A vaguely French-sounding voice cried out. Pinkie stood straight up, her body going rigid. She turned around slowly to see a bucket of turnips, a sack of flour, a stack of rocks, and a ball of lint sitting at the other end of the room. You're no friends of... I gotta think about dark Pinkie. You're no friends of mine, Pinkie said darkly, a sudden and frightening change from her normal cheerful voice. Oh, it's probably monotone. Now, is that any way to address those who comforted you when you were alone? Sir Lancelot offered. You didn't... Sorry. You didn't comfort me. You didn't comfort me, Pinkie shrieked, pointing a hoof at the ball of lint accusingly. You all wanted to make me a jealous... Crap! You all wanted to... What is wrong with my voice today? You all wanted to make me a jealous pants and leave my friends. But we're your friends, not that bunch of losers, Rocky said. I don't know if he's supposed to mean like a tough guy or whatever, I don't know. Now come back with us, Pinkie, Mr. Turnip said slowly. Yes, join us. Oh, it's a lady, sorry. Yes, join us, Madame Lefleur commanded. No, stop! What are you doing? Pinkie squealed. No! Downstairs, Mrs. Cake was looking up at the ceiling with some concern. Do you think we should check on her? She asked her husband. Nah, Mr. Cake said, pulling a fresh batch of cookies out of the oven. I'm sure Pinkie's just playing with Gummy. See, she's already quieting down. Mrs. Cake... Oh, come on, man. Don't be so... Mr. Cake seemed satisfied by this. You're right, dear, she said, returning to a tray of muffins. You guys are so oblivious. Let's see. Okay, I have enough time. I gotta finish reading this. Prince Blueblood approached the Ponyville Library. Fortunately for him, the area was deserted. It would not do to have any of these filthy commoners coming up to him while he was carried out. What? Commoners when he was carrying... It would not do to have any of these filthy commoners coming up to him while he was carried out his... Don't you mean while he carried out his mission? Anyway. While he carried out his mission. Owlicious had informed had informed the prince when Twilight would be departing the library to visit one of her friends, leaving her dragon assistant alone at the library. This part of the plan was crucial. They had to cut out, you know, oh, they had to cut off Twilight. They had to cut off Twilight and her companions from their connection to Princess Celestia. The prince tapped a hoof on the door. After a moment, Spike opened the front door. "Hi there! Can I help?" "Wait, what? Prince Blueblood?" Spike sputtered, taken aback. He had never met the prince, but he had seen him from a distance once or twice when he lived in Canterlot. It's customary to bow to royalty, underling," Prince Blueblood huffed. "I don't bow to anyone who upsets Rarity," Spike growled, shoving a finger into the prince's chest. What are you doing at Ponyville anyway? Here to torment Rarity again?" he said accusingly. "Actually, I'm here to apologize for my actions," the prince replied. "What?" I'm just gonna keep reading. I realized I treated Lady Rarity poorly, and I wanted to come to make it up to her. May I enter your place of residence?" "Don't do it, Spike! Don't do it!" Spike still looked suspicious, but stepped back. "I suppose," he muttered, "but you better not be thinking of trying anything with Rarity. She's already called for." "Yeah, you keep telling yourself that, Spike. You just keep telling yourself that." The prince strutted in. the prince strutted in through the door. Here, he said, levitating a black jewel out of a jewel out of a bag slung around his mane. I was informed that you like jewels. Enjoy," he said, levitating it to Spike. "Hey, thanks," Spike said. "Maybe you're not such a bad pony after all." "Dude, it's a black gem. Don't eat it." He popped the jewel in his mouth. Ugh. Interesting flavor. What kind of jewel is this? Prince Blueblood chuckled. "Interesting that you should ask about that. This is a very unique kind of gem. It has been cast with a spell that causes any dragon to eat it to instantly fall asleep." "I knew it." But I see you've already discovered that for yourself," he added with a laugh, looking at the snoozing dragon. "Well, at least it didn't kill him. That would have sucked." Horn glowing, the prince levitated his bag off his mane and scooped up Spike in one swift move before closing the bag. He turned to leave, the bag floating alongside him, when he almost collided with the gray Pegasus with crossed eyes hovering at the front door. "Gah! What are you doing here?" the prince cried. "Yeah, what are you doing here, Derpy?" I think I'm now a running joke." "Oh, a special delivery, Your Majesty," the Pegasus said, holding out an envelope. On the address that... Dang it. On the address... Can't speak today. Yes, I can. On the address label was written, "Prince Blueblood, Ponyville Library, 42 Ponyway, Ponyville, Equestria." Yes. Thank you," the prince stuttered, taking the envelope. The Pegasus saluted before taking to the sky. The prince opened the envelope to find it was a colorful advertisement that said in large bold letters, "Find local dragon captures in your area." What? Oh, Oh, an advertisement. Sorry. I wasn't thinking. Although, oh, that kind of advertisement. Find local dragon catchers in your area. On the other side of the flyer was a similar advertisement, this one proclaiming, hot, illegible. Stupid. Hang on. Hot, eligible mares in Ponyville are looking for you! How do they do? How do they do that? Yeah, how do they do that? The prince muttered, marveling at the speed of advertisements of advertisers these days. Ugh, they're annoying. They're everywhere. Twilight Sparkle was in panic. No surprise there. She had left to see Rarity, but found no one at the Carousel Boutique, even though it appeared to be open. There was unusual. That was unusual in and of itself. But then she had returned to the library to find the door left open and Spike missing. It was at this point that she ran. It was at this point that she ran into Rainbow Dash, who told her she had been looking for Pinkie Pie and having no luck. Dash had since located Fluttershy, but Applejack was nowhere to be found. So they're the remaining 3 ponies. Wonder what's gonna happen? Twilight was running through the town square for what felt like the 100th time when she heard a shout from above. Hey, Twi! Rainbow Dash and Fluttershy were hovering in the air. Did you find them? Twilight said hopefully. Well, we think so, Fluttershy muttered. But that's not all we found, Dash said grimly, motioning Twilight to follow. They raced down the street to a spot on the edge of town, where a group of familiar figures were standing. We did it! One of the Diamond Dogs cheered. The Legion of Gloom was standing over the bound and gagged figures of 3 ponies and Spike. Rarity and Pinkie Pie had terrified looks on their faces while Applejack was struggling with their bonds. Spike had been outfitted with a wired face guard, which prevented him from opening his mouth and breathing any magical fire. Wait. Who collected the pinkometer? Prince Blueblood asked. I don't remember her being part of the I don't remember her being part of the initial phase of the plan. And why is she sitting next to a bucket of turnips, a bunch of rocks, a sack of flour, and a ball of lint? Who cares? Gilda scoffed. We've got her, and that's all I care about. Hey! A blue Pegasus was approaching the group, followed by a yellow Pegasus and a purple unicorn. What's going on here? We have been discovered! Photo Finish exclaimed. Well, Gilda strode forward. If it isn't Rainbow Dash! Gilda! Dash shouted, so shocked that she stopped moving forward. Fluttershy caught up with Dash first. Okay. The Diamond Dogs? Fluttershy said in a confused tone. Photo Finish? Prince Blueblood? Twilight said, looking completely bewildered. And Trixie? That's the great and powerful Trixie to you, fool! Trixie shouted. And soon you will have the privilege of adding your highness to that title. The great and powerful Trixie Highness? What? Your highness? Dash muttered, raising an eyebrow. Yes! Trixie shouted triumphantly. I have found an ideal companion of His Majesty, Prince Blueblood. Indeed. Indeed, the prince affirmed, locking eyes with the blue unicorn. I shall marry her into royalty. She shall be Her Majesty, the great and powerful Princess Trixie. At this, Trixie threw her arms around the prince's mane, kissing him savagely on his lips again. Spike, Applejack, Rarity, Twilight, and Fluttershy looked beyond shocked. Fluttershy said slowly. What? Twilight couldn't comprehend what she was witnessing. Rainbow Dash, on the other hand, looked unimpressed. I'm not that surprised. Those two were made for each other. For her part, Pinkie looked like she was trying not to giggle uncontrollably. Couldn't blame her for that. Trixie finally broke her embrace of the prince. Now behold, inferiors, as we, the Legion of Gloom, enact our revenge on you who have dared to wrong us. At this, she drew a hang on. At this, she threw down a hoofful of powder, which burst into a cloud of dust that shrouded the entire area. Twilight and Trixie. Too much Trixie on the mind. Twilight and Fluttershy coughed and sputtered, while Dash had the presence of mind to lift into the air and make several swoops at the dust cloud, cutting it apart and cleaning it away. But when the cloud finally dispersed, it was to show that the Legion of Gloom had vanished along with their captives. Unseen to Dash, Fluttershy, or Twilight was a well-hidden hole situated at the foot of the tree, which connected to a tunnel leading back to the Froggy Bottom Bog. And that's the end of chapter 2. I got this done in time, surprisingly. Let's see what chapter 3 will be. Let's see how chapter 3 is gonna be. Ooh, I can tell it's gonna be good. I'm looking at the top part, and it's gonna be like a epic fight, one of those most epic fights ever. So I'm excited to read that one, hopefully next week. Because, I'm just gonna be happy to read that. So, I'll talk to you guys later. Yeah.